Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Several barangays in Pasay are under localized lockdown as cases continue to spike in the city. Stricter measures are implemented in one particular barangay that currently has the highest number of active cases in Pasay. To give us more details, we have JC Cosico reporting live from Barangay 183 in Pasay City. JC, good morning. Could you tell us what you're seeing?
Charles, security remains tight here at Barangay 183 in Pasay City in a bid to control the spread of COVID-19, especially with the emergence of the South African variant. Now, Barangay 183 will remain under stricter quarantine until March 17. The barangay had the most number of active COVID-19 cases with 34 infections based on latest data. Local officials say 5 areas in Barangay 183 are under localized ECQ or enhanced community quarantine. This, as some cases include transmission among families. Residents have to present their IDs and pass through sanitation tents before entering the barangay. And starting today, delivery riders will also have to scan QR codes and fill out health declaration forms. Portals and their motorcycles are also disinfected to avoid the spread of the virus. Riders will be given only 30 minutes to deliver orders of up to 3 customers. However, some of them had a hard time accessing the online health check and were just told to leave their IDs and log their names instead. Some customers, meanwhile, had no choice but to meet riders near the barangay's entrance. Charles, we talked to a few residents in the area and they welcome these developments in a bid to control the spread of the virus. Now, Pasay City has recorded over 8,000 confirmed cases, with at least or over 500 cases are considered active. Back to you.
That JC Cosico reporting live from Pasay. The OCTA Research Group is worried that the number of confirmed South African variant cases in Pasay City is only a portion of a bigger number. The Health Department earlier confirmed that 4 of the 6 South African variant cases are from Pasay City. On 1PH sa totoo lang, OCTA Research Fellow Father Nicanor Austriaco said they believe that the number of South African variant cases so far is relatively low. However, Austriaco said that the Pasay LGU must work harder to contain the spread of the South African variant.
So our hope is that the LGU is able to contain the spread of 1351, so that what will happen is that we will be able to eliminate that virus variant from the Philippines. And that is my hope and my prayer at this time.
Meanwhile, on One News' The Chiefs, OCTA's Dr. Guido David called for stricter implementation of health protocols as the threat of the new COVID-19 variants looms over Metro Manila. David said localized lockdowns could work to, quote, starve the virus by lessening people's interactions with the host. But David also warns that the variant could still leak to nearby LGUs if protocols are not strictly implemented or if quarantine measures are eased prematurely.
We do think that localized lockdowns work, but what we do think is that although they're doing it in Pasay, some of it has already escaped Pasay and leaked over to some other LGUs. For example, the nearby barangays in Manila, Makati, and Taguig.
Senate Minority Leader Frank Drilon says the executive department cannot keep vaccine prices under wraps. Drilon told Radio 5 that the law mandates public disclosure of prices 30 days after the signing of supply agreements. He added that the executive department already revealed this information to Senate President Tito Soto, but gave strict orders not to divulge it to the public.
Nasa batas po, pagkatapos nilang pumirma ng supply agreement, ay mayroon silang tungkulin sa loob ng, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, sa loob ng 30 araw, na dapat ihayag at ilabas sa taong bayan ang presyo. Pag may supply agreement na, ay may obligasyon na kailangan ilabas, i-publicize. Kung mataas masyado, they're liable under the anti-graft law. In fairness to Senator Soto, he offered to tell me, to describe to me kung anong nangyari sa executive session. Sinabi ko, wag mo lang sabihin sa akin kung hindi ko pwedeng sabihin sa taong bayan.
The Education Department is ready to conduct a pilot run for limited face-to-face classes within a week. Undersecretary Diosdado San Antonio said they're just waiting for the go signal from the IATF to launch the pilot run. San Antonio adds that they are continuously updating the list of areas recommended for limited face-to-face classes based on the reported infection rates around the country. Recall that only localities that have not reported a new COVID-19 case for the past 30 days are recommended to have limited face-to-face classes. The official adds that they are looking to prioritize bringing back physical classes for senior high school students under tech-voc tracks.
Ang tinitingnan po namin, nangangailangan din ng pagkakataon ng mga senior high school learners natin, lalong-lalo na sa tech-voc track, kasi po kailangan talaga nilang magsanay sa mga equipment, mga makina, at ito ay hindi pwedeng dalhin sa bahay lahat. Pinapayagan po namin makapagsagawa ang mga bata ng activities na nasa bahay. Pero ang karamihan po ay kailangan sanayin ang sarili sa welding. Halimbawa, kailangan mo ang paggamit ng welding. So ito po ay sa pag-uusap namin ay priority ang mga senior high school learners, lalong-lalo na po yung mag-i-immersion at yung tech-voc.
How would you like to spend just a few minutes instead of an entire afternoon whenever you have errands in government offices? Well, that's the plan as SSS beefs up its digital services to make processes more efficient. Shaila Francisco has the rest of the story.
As early as 1 in the morning, some Social Security system members line up in its offices to claim benefits or loans. The SSS tried a solution: number coding. But the scheduled scheme proved to be a band-aid solution, especially in the middle of a pandemic. That's why SSS now came up with a more apt answer: digital services.
Pensioners, covered employers, and the public a faster, more convenient, and more efficient means of transacting with us.
More than 20 services are already available at the My.SSS portal. These include loans for calamity and pension, benefits from retirement and unemployment, as well as funeral claims. Updating contact information and other inquiries may now also be done online. According to SSS data, 75% of members have gone digital in 2020, an increase from just 35% the year before. More than 10 million of 38 million members have already registered at My.SSS. Its mobile apps have at least 11 million downloads. This year, the agency plans to add online employer registration and submission of employment records, filing of disability claim, death claim, and maternity application. E-centers are also still available in SSS branches. SSS assures members of data privacy.
Mayroon po tayong mga data protection officers na nagbibigay linaw ng mga information o personal information na maaari nating ma-share, maibigay sa ating mga miyembro. Mahigpit po ang ginagawang mga screening.
For now, there's still no update on the possible increase in SSS contribution, but it may be necessary in the long run.
Meron po tayong reserve, pero kailangan din po natin in the long term na talagang suportahan yung mga benepisyo dahil hindi ho lumilihit ang benepisyo natin. Every year, dumadami ho ang members ng SSS, pero ang contribution ho, kung liliit siya.
As of last year, SSS has disbursed about 30 billion pesos in calamity loans and 1.7 billion pesos in unemployment benefits. They expect to release the same amount this year due to the pandemic. Shaila Francisco, We Are One News.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 1 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.